Can you imagine a world where Gossip Girl featured Sydney Sweeney as one of the main cast members? Well, Sydney certainly can. And are you ready for some heartfelt relationship advice from the blonde beauty? Have you ever wondered if Sydney knows how to sing as a genuinely multi-talented girly? And is she friends with other gorgeous blonde starlets like Renee Rapp? We've got proof that Sydney wishes she could have been cast on the original Gossip Girl show. Plus, stick around for 5 solid gems of her wisdom to consider when it comes to your love life. And don't leave before finding out if Sydney knows how to carry a tune while singing, and if she considers Renee Rapp to be one of her besties. According to Brainy Quote, Sydney once spoke super highly of Gossip Girl, saying, "Serena and Blair from Gossip Girl got to wear such awesome outfits, and being on a show like that where you're getting to wear incredible designers all the time would be a lot of fun." It's true that Serena and Blair got to dress up in the prettiest clothes in every single episode of the show. The reason it wouldn't have realistically worked for Sydney to be cast in the OG Gossip Girl show comes down to the whole age thing. When Gossip Girl first premiered in 2007, she was only 9 years old. But there's a chance she could have been cast in the final season of Gossip Girl, which aired in 2013. By that point, Sydney was 15 years old. Sydney was already busy acting well before she was 15 years old, since she landed small roles in shows like Heroes, Criminal Minds, and Grey's Anatomy when she was still a young teenager. She also landed a small role in one of Gossip Girl's major competitor TV shows in 2017. We're referring to Pretty Little Liars, of course. Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars have historically always been compared as 2 dramatic TV shows focused on young adults getting into major trouble with serious scandals. Sydney snagged a small part in Pretty Little Liars as a character named Willa. It turns out she likely would have been much happier if she had snagged a part in Gossip Girl instead. That's partly because the fashion of Gossip Girl was completely unmatched. Serena and Blair wore outfits that are still highly revered and beloved to this day, even though the show came to a conclusion a few years ago. Serena was played by Blake Lively, and Blair was played by Leighton Meester. No one could have handled the roles of Serena and Blair better, given their perfect age ranges at the time. But can you imagine if Sydney was at the right age back then to take on one of those coveted roles? By the time Sydney was old enough to snag roles in projects with tons of edginess, she started filming Euphoria, The White Lotus, Anyone But You, The Handmaid's Tale, Immaculate, and more. Can you picture the original Gossip Girl show with Sydney Sweeney as part of the cast lineup had she been a bit older when it first premiered? While you think about that, here's some advice about love and dating, straight from Sydney. Sydney has been engaged to marry a man named Jonathan Davino since 2022, and their timeline serves as proof that they're a serious couple. The Euphoria actress knows a thing or two about making it in Hollywood as a successful starlet. Let's see if she knows a thing or two about relationship advice. Here's a roundup of her 5 most romantic gems. First, it's okay to daydream about your future wedding day, your soulmate, and more. According to Glamour UK via People, Sydney spoke about wedding planning saying, "What girl doesn't create a Pinterest board for their wedding? I started making that when I was like 10. You might not be engaged just yet, and you might not even be in a legitimate relationship, but it's never too early to start daydreaming, planning, and manifesting what's to come." Sydney's words are a stark reminder that planning ahead when it comes to love is perfectly acceptable. And by the way, utilizing a Pinterest board to organize your wedding plans is a lovely form of manifestation. Second, choose a partner who will make your life more fulfilling. Sydney opened up to Cosmopolitan saying, "I need to be able to be with someone who I can literally hang out with 24/7 and never get sick of, and we laugh every single day." From Sydney's perspective, the partner you choose will have a huge impact on your life. If they're capable of making your life feel more fulfilling, you're on the right track with the right person. Third, choose a partner who will support your ambitions and dreams. According to Entertainment Tonight via Us Weekly, Sydney said, "It's amazing having someone who cheers you on and someone who fully just supports what you do." In other words, if the partner you choose holds you back, sabotages you, or makes you feel bad about your aspirations, you shouldn't be with them. Fourth, it's okay to keep your relationship low-key. Sydney told Glamour UK via LA Times, "Everyone is always so curious about who I'm with and what's that like, but I think it's important to have something for me." The Anyone But You actress would rather keep details about her love life under wraps to preserve and respect her relationship, and that's something her fans simply have to accept. Fifth, and finally, self-love should always come before romantic love. According to Yahoo Life, Sydney said, "I think loving yourself is number 1 before you can actually love anyone else." She also interviewed with C Magazine and said, "Being able to love yourself before allowing anyone else to love you, that's where true happiness and healthiness comes from." Self-love is crucial, and this advice from Sydney is more than just a cop-out. The way you love yourself gives everyone else in the world a glimpse into how you expect to be loved by others. If you aren't properly loving yourself, there's a chance you'll end up in toxic or unhealthy relationships and situationships. Does Sydney know how to sing? If so, it means that she might just truly be a jack of all trades. The multi-talented blonde is most well known for her dynamite performances as an actress. But it turns out, she actually knows how to carry a gorgeously angelic tune as well. About 6 years ago, a video of Sydney singing was uploaded onto YouTube. The simple vid featured Sydney wearing a cream-colored sweater with black framed glasses on. Her blonde hair was parted in the middle, framing both sides of her face. She sat in a plain room with a framed piece of artwork on the wall behind her as she sang heartbreaking lyrics to a song that would evoke emotion in even the coldest-hearted individual. The comment section on the YouTube video is full of people who are totally obsessed with the discovery of her singing abilities. One person wrote, "I'm literally in love with her." Someone else said, "She seems so sweet, I love her so much." Another fan added, "Eargasm, and that's how you get to heaven." Another Sydney supporter said, "She has the voice of an angel. Sydney is so talented." During an interview with MTV, Sydney revealed that her dream musical role would be in Phantom of the Opera. When the interviewer asked her if she practices singing at home, she admitted that she sometimes sings in the shower. Phantom of the Opera was initially released in the early 2000s, starring Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum. The idea of seeing Sydney in a modernized version of the movie would be a dream come true for classic musical lovers everywhere. Phantom of the Opera is known for its romance as well, and that's something Sydney knows how to bring to life effortlessly. In her romantic comedy, Anyone But You, she is extremely believable while building her love story with her on-screen partner, Glenn Powell. In Euphoria, she's beyond believable building her love story with Nate Jacobs behind her best friend's back. When it comes to Sydney as a singer versus an actress, it's obvious that acting is the career that really stole her heart from a very young age. According to Brainy Quote, she once said, "I actually began my career by convincing my parents to let me be an actress when I was 12, with a PowerPoint presentation describing acting and my goals." What would you think of it if Sydney pursued a music career and released an album of music at some point down the line? What would you think of it if she starred in a musical film and used her own voice to belt out the lyrics? Are you surprised to learn that she can really sing? Between Sydney Sweeney and Renee Rapp, is there another set of gorgeous Gen Z-aged blondes who are killing the game as much? Sydney and Renee are both at the top of their games right now, and there's no denying that. But are Sydney and Renee friends with each other IRL? The reality is that Sydney and Renee seem to be friendly enough with each other, but they might not exactly be besties who get together every weekend. Only one photo of them together has been snapped, and it was taken at the GLAAD Awards of 2024. An Instagram user named Renee Rapp shared the pic for everyone to see, and it pulled in hundreds of likes and comments. One person wrote, "I'd like to be in the middle of this sandwich, please and thank you." Someone else added, "Fighting for my life not to stare." Another fan wrote, "It's giving they're the same letter in a different font." A fourth fan joined the conversation to say, "Iconic, they look like sisters." Someone else dramatically added, "I want a Les movie with them as the main characters in all capital letters." Another social media user took the photo to Reddit to share their excitement about seeing Sydney and Renee together in one shot. One fan responded by saying, "My favorite blondies with big hearts." Someone else added, "Two of the hottest women on the planet. Maybe they are the hottest too." Another fan quipped, "These are two of the best blondes ever. A formidable pair of women." So it's pretty obvious that Sydney and Renee's fans are overjoyed by just seeing an image of them together in one place. But that doesn't mean Sydney and Renee have some sort of solid and dynamic friendship between them. This one pic is the only shot of them together, pretty much ever. The idea of Sydney and Renee being friends with each other actually does make a lot of sense though, since they both understand how it feels to totally dominate in roles as beautiful blondes who know how to command attention in any room they walk in. Sydney's time playing Cassie Howard on Euphoria is a big reason she's such a hot topic of conversation. Renee's time playing Regina George in the musical version of Mean Girls is why so many people have become enamored by her as well. Since Sydney and Renee both know how to make an impact as actresses in the entertainment industry, there's a lot to look forward to from both of them. What if they decided to collaborate on a movie or TV show? It's clear their fans would be ecstatic about it. How do you feel about Sydney's thoughts regarding Gossip Girl, or her relationship advice? What about her singing abilities and her connection to Renee? There's much to love and respect about Sydney as a celebrity, and it no longer appears that she's an actress on the rise. She's already pretty established in the Hollywood industry. The waves she's making are massive ones, truth be told. The lifestyle she lives is beyond inspiring in a multitude of ways, and that's abundantly clear. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.